Get closer to the action with KFAN. Breaking sports news, exclusive contests, and more. Follow at KFAN 1003 on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X to stay connected.
I guess what I'm trying to say, Tenby, is you don't have to like training camp, but you have to respect it. It's time now for 534 on KFAN. The Bears. I would co-sell it.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Brought to you by Willow River Company. Question number 1. Concerned or confident?
Joe Ryan has struggled since his All-Star Game appearance on July 14th. He gave up 6 homers, 8 runs in 4 innings against Cleveland back on July 20th. Then he skipped a start due to arm fatigue. Then last night gave up 4 runs on 8 hits over 6 innings in a 4-0 loss to Kansas City. Common, Joe Ryan, are you
concerned or confident?
He's got arm fatigue. I've got Twins fatigue. I don't know what to think about this club. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I guess sort of. I mean, there was a quote I watched much of. We didn't need Randy Dobnak, by the way. We didn't need him. He was really good last night.
The funny thing is I watched him pitch for Kansas City's minor league team against the Saints a month or so ago. And we were just tearing the cover off the ball against him. Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I guess I missed that one. You probably talked about it, and I really wasn't listening. I was just waiting for my chance to talk. Where was the quote from Ryan? He goes, certain things are a little bit off still, so trying to figure it out. Arm felt good, so that was good, but not putting the ball where I wanted. I didn't have the extra life that I was looking for today, so yeah, frustrating. So I don't know what that means. I thought I saw, though, the velocity was kind of okay. It's not like all of a sudden he's throwing at 85 miles an hour. But, yeah, I mean, he's your best pitcher. He's the guy, he's not going to win every game, but last 2 outings have not been good. They've lost both games that he's pitched in. And those are the ones you're almost expecting you're going to win. Should win 2 out of every 3 starts when you have a guy that is that talented. That's the hope anyways. So it seems like every time we take, is it 1 step forward and 2 back, or 2 forward and 1 back, whatever it is, we do that because, we get going into the All-Star break, we won 8 out of 9 series. Come out of the All-Star break, lose our first 4 out of 5, then we win a couple, and then I think we won our last series against Oakland, which isn't saying a lot, but we beat them, and then all of a sudden you're at 500, and then you're looking to get over 500 for the first time since like April 21st or something, and then you lose.
Can't get over the hump.
Yeah, and then you lose with them, and like who's the? I don't know if he's their first baseman, the guy that got the triple off the wall. Big kid. I mean, he looks like he's the size of 2 Miguel Sano's. And he hits one, and it caroms off the wall. And who's ever in for Buxton, is that Kreidler out there? I don't know who's out there. I don't know who's on first either. But ball takes a wacky ricochet off the wall and then bounces towards center field. And the outfielder falls on us again. So this guy's going to turn what's going to be for him. That's off the wall, still a routine single. He turns it into a triple to him. He's like a locomotive. I mean, he picks up a head of steam. He rounds second base, and he starts heading toward third. He head first slides, and I love the camera. The cameraman got a great angle of him when they went to the break. He's lying on his stomach, and he looks, and he's got this great big huge smile on his face because he's not run that fast since he was probably 4 years old. And but anyway, that was one of the hits off of and there was, again, sometimes I scratch my head about our fielding, and and that goes back to the discussion: should you be buyers or sellers, soft buyers? Should you just stand pat? I'd still rather see them. I know the chances of having a parade here for the Twins are slim. I get that, but you want to show the fans and the organization, the players in the organization, that, it is different now. We are under it's the same old ownership as far as the Pohlad name, but you have one of I don't know if it's a son or brother, a third cousin, I don't know what Tom's. There's so many Pohlads, I don't know who's who anymore. But he made a lot of, I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily call them promises, but he said, we want to contend. We're going to, if we feel like we have a chance to win, we're going to be buyers from now on. I'm paraphrasing all these. And you heard Jeremy Zoll, we quoted him after the win the night before, or before the game. He had said, we're going to do everything we can to improve the team, particularly the bullpen. And then you see another game like this where your star pitcher, Joe Ryan, doesn't play as well. And then the other bad news, Buxton out again because of that hip impingement. That's what, to me, is more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not frightening, but more ominous than Joe Ryan's performances, is that if he's going to be in and out of the lineup like this and more out than in, that hurts the team's chances of winning a division or grabbing a wild card and certainly from advancing against some of the better teams. So that's what I'm going to keep an eye on more than anything. But those are the two. Can Ryan get back to his all-star-like ways? I mean, it's 2 starts, no time to panic yet. If it goes to a third and a fourth, then I think it's time to panic.
But taking a break in between because of arm fatigue is a little worrisome to me.
That is correct. That's correct.
Question number 2.
It's now time to take an in-depth look at the welfare of the Wolves.
The Timberwolves have a new local broadcast home for next season. London-based streaming platform, it's spelled DAZN but pronounced DAZN.
DAZN
will become the Timberwolves' exclusive local broadcast home for the 2026-27 season under a new media rights agreement announced this morning. Timberwolves and Lynx CEO Matthew Caldwell said the Wolves have signed a 5-year deal with DAZN with a mutual opt-out available after a year. Fans will be able to stream Timberwolves games through a new team-branded subscription service launching later this summer. Games will be produced by the NBA. 15 games will be available for free. Additional details, including game availability, programming, launch timing, on-air talent, and subscription pricing, are expected at a later date. Common, will you be watching Wolves games on DAZN?
Well, if that's the place to watch them, I'll be honest, I'm not paying as close attention to the NBA in general, specifically the Wild or the Wolves, as I once did, and I don't watch a lot of regular season games, but I'll probably give it a look-see. DAZN, have you ever watched it before?
No.
They do a lot of boxing cards. And so Deuce and I have watched all sorts, and their boxing crews are kind of the wacky kind of people. And they also have some ex-fighters, but they do a nice job covering boxing. So, yeah, I mean, you got to have so I'd watch DAZN, but at the end of the day, Rob, it doesn't matter if it's FanDuel, if it's Fox Sports North, if it's PBS. If I'm in the mood to watch a game, I'll find it somewhere. But yeah.
Well, what's interesting is DAZN is a little different from the Twins, right? The Twins have the Twins.tv, but there's also a cable channel you can watch it. Whereas DAZN is going to be strictly streaming. So, I do wonder if, and I've known for a while this is the way we're going to go, right? Like this is every team eventually was going to have their own streaming service. Yep. But then I do wonder, when you don't have it available to the masses on cable or over the air, if that takes away from some of the casuals watching your product.
Yeah.
Right, like I'm one of those where I don't know if I'm going to purchase DAZN. Like if the Wolves are on, I might watch it, but I don't know if I'm going to seek it out and pay money to watch the Wolves.
So it doesn't take much for me to show my stupidity and my ignorance, and because I do that on a regular basis, 3 hours a day. So the streaming thing, that's like you have to pay for that service and you get it on your computer, but you can work it through your TV as well.
Smart TV, yeah.
Smart TV, but
through an app, yeah.
But you you have to give them money and then they flip a switch and it's on? Is that how? I mean, how?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. And did you just said in that they haven't talked about pricing yet?
No, that will be revealed at a later date.
Well, how much, on other teams that stream, do you have any idea what that cost might even roughly be? Is that going to be like a monthly fee, or is it by the game, or do you know how?
I thought I saw that DAZN typically is $35 a month, but for Wolves specific stuff, it might be cheaper than that. But yeah, I can't give you exact prices. I know
DAZN does boxing, and now the Wolves, I don't know what else they do, so I don't know if that's worth $35 a month. And then, I'm sorry, I was eating rather than. Is that going to be the exclusive place to watch them unless they're a national game?
Unless they're a national game. Well, it did say 15 of them would be for free.
Oh, okay. All right. Those might be the 15 I'll watch.
We do a quick one?
Sure.
Question number 3.
All Vikings, let's win this game. You'll hear us yell for more.
It's now time to take an in-depth look at the state of the skull.
Yeah, a couple days ago, the Vikings and right tackle Brian O'Neill agreed to a 4-year contract extension worth $96 million. So the Vikings now have 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen under contract through at least 2028. They have O'Neill, left tackle Christian Darrisaw through 2029, right guard Will Fries through 2029, and left guard Donovan Jackson through 2028. And obviously his contract comes with a 5th-year option. Then center Blake Brendel is entering the final year of his contract. Comment on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being Muhammad Ali and 1 being terrified Tenna. What is your confidence level in the offensive line this season and in the years ahead?
It's a good question. I would say I'd probably give it a 3, but I think maybe I'm underestimating or undervaluing that offensive line, because somewhere, and I don't think it was a Ducky and Bunny piece either. I think somewhere else I read in one of the national ones, which I don't generally consider them to be as Ducky and Bunny as like the locals when they're praising, because you know how I feel tend to be that a lot of times when local media, and we're not naming names because I don't know how close the media members are with front offices and ownership. Each guy's got a different relationship. But if you hear enough positivity, you start to believe it, right? But I think they've said the Vikings, what I've read, like some of the Nationals, that the Vikings have a really good offensive line. Do you feel like they have a really good offensive line? I mean, maybe the potential's there, but I don't know if I
think it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I think, like a 3-ish, but I read a couple of places where really quality offensive line.
I guess it depends on what Christian Darrisaw you're going to get.
That's exactly right.
Because he apparently has a wide range of outcomes. Your tackles, if healthy, should be pretty good. I did like Donovan Jackson's first year at left guard. Center's a huge question, and Will Fries, meh.
And we can do this thing together. We'll have to wait and see.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 Questions.
Brought to you by...
Well, actually, 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
My pals at Willow River Company, they're your outdoor services specialists. They do everything outdoor. They do landscaping and irrigation and lawn treatment and mowing. Trees. Everybody likes their trees. They have over 10 arborists on staff, and right now you can have one of them visit your property and give you a tree assessment and evaluation of how the health of your trees. Regardless if it's landscaping or irrigation or all the aforementioned, WillowRiverCompany.com. Please visit their website if you're in need of any of those the services I just talked about. That would be WillowRiverCompany.com.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword preset at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. Keyword is preset. Enter it now at KFAN.com.
The Common Man.
I just want you to know that you're one of the top 5.
Metallica, Megadeth, and 5 Finger Death Punch.
KFAN welcomes some great shows to Grand Casino Arena in the next year, including Journey.
And she was gonna be an actress, and I was gonna learn to fly.
On October 4th, and The Smashing Pumpkins.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
On October 13th, Tickets are on sale now. Get the complete details on all of our upcoming shows on the concert page at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Tenneby, could you look up the word hyperbole for me? Hyperbole. I think I know the definition. Hyperbole. Hyperbole. Be a great name for a band. Hyperbole. I think I love you, so what am I so afraid of?
Hyperbole. Hyperbole.
Obvious and intentional exaggeration. An extravagant statement or figure of speech not intended to be taken literally.
I think P.J. Fleck has mastered the art of hyperbole. Though, maybe he really does believe this. Maybe he's not exaggerating. Randy Johnson writes, college football, Minnesota Golden Gopher style, for the Fish Wrap Factory West Side. Headline of the story, today's Fish Wrap, maybe it was yesterday. P.J. Fleck sees Indiana's title run as proof the Gophers can dream big. Here's what he said. What Kirk Cignetti did was the greatest college moment and maybe season of any sport of all time. Any sport, any season. Oh, my God. Above average at that. Tenneby, I mean, I guess if you tried hard enough, you could make a argument for that, right? I mean, Randy writes in his piece that Dateline Chicago, this is coming out of the Big Ten media days. On an overcast November afternoon in 2021, the Gophers football team administered a 35-14 rout of host Indiana in front of a Memorial Stadium crowd announced at 38,079, but in reality, maybe half that number. Fleck's fifth season as coach in Minnesota, he guided the Gophers to a 9-4 record that year, a strong rebound from the COVID-19 marred 3-4 mark a year earlier. Indiana was going in the opposite direction, finishing a 2-10 season with 8 consecutive losses. Count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Any suggestion that in 4 short years the Hoosiers would reign over college football would have been met with mockery, yet here we are. Indiana won the national championship. And it is a fairly remarkable story, I guess, but when you start talking about greatest sports season of all time, I thought to myself, well, man, there's been a lot of seasons and a lot of sports and a lot of remarkability. I look no further than Leicester City soccer, Tenneby football. You're familiar with Leicester City, right?
Who's not?
2015-2016 season. The odds, these are what the odds were. The season, Leicester City started the season with a 5,000-1 betting odds to win the English Premier League after barely avoiding relegation the previous year. The result? They lost only 3 matches all season, finishing with 81 points to claim the most improbable top-flight title in soccer history. Now, I don't know when Indiana won the national title. Were they 5,000-1 going into that season? I mean, maybe they were. Somebody would have to look at that for me. Maybe they were. Maybe it was 10,000-1. How about your Seattle Mariners in 2001, Tenneby? The odds? They lost superstars Alex Rodriguez, we like to call him A-Rod, Ken Griffey Jr., I like to call him K-Griff, and Randy Johnson. What was his nickname? Didn't he have one?
Big Unit.
Big Unit. And Big Unit in prior seasons, leading experts to predict a last-place finish. They were predicted to finish last. The result? They tie the all-time Major League Baseball record with 116 wins behind rookie sensation Ichiro Suzuki. How about the other form of football, American football? 1990 St. Louis Rams. Led by unheralded grocery clerk turned quarterback Kurt Warner, the Rams had gone 4-12 the prior year and lost starting quarterback Trent Green to a preseason injury. The result? Well, the Rams orchestrated the greatest show on turf offense going 13-3 and winning big game XXXIB. That's pretty remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
I'd even maybe say that's slightly better than Indiana, but maybe not. How about basketball? Tennessee, you want to look at the NBA? How about college? Let's turn our attention to college basketball. 1983 NC State. You know the story. Survived elimination through the ACC tournament and went on a magical Cinderella run to win the NCAA men's basketball championship on a last-second buzzer beater. The famous Jim Valvano running around over the court looking for somebody to hug. 1969 New York Metropolitans, known as the Miracle Mets or the Amazing Mets, completed one of the greatest underdog stories in sports history by going from perennial losers to winning the 1969 World Series. They finished 162, placing first in the National League East, overcame a heavy favorite in the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles that year had 4 pitchers, count them 1, 2, 3, 4, that all won 20 games. Dave McNally, Jim Palmer, Mike Cuellar, and Pat Dobson. After they had swept the Braves in the inaugural National League Championship Series, home games were played at Shea Stadium with a total attendance of 2,175,373. Well, you can look right in our backyard, Tennessee. The 1991 Minnesota Twins completed a historic worst-to-first turnaround, finishing with a 95-67 regular season record and winning the World Series under manager Tom Kelly. 95-67 in the regular season, first place in the AL West. They beat the Jays 4-1, beat the Braves 4-3. Blackjack Morris, greatest Game 7 World Series history. I'm on the field slapping him on the back. All of those, to me, and, I'll put Indiana in that conversation. It's to each his own, right? You can make that argument. And I think because PJ, sports is your whole life just sports. College football is your whole life just college football. And it is with PJ Fleck. He would rank that up higher. But Tennessee, I will leave you with this as we go to break. I would say the greatest season of all time was Morris Buttermaker. Familiar with him?
No.
Manager. He was a lazy swimming pool cleaner hired by a lawyer to manage the Bad News Bears, a last-place Little League team created from league rejects. After a disastrous first game ends in a humiliating blowout loss, Buttermaker decides to get serious and brings in secret weapons Amanda Wurlitzer, a gifted young female pitcher, and Kelly Leak, a tough motorcycle-riding local kid who was an exceptional hitter. With their new star players, the uncoordinated team improves rapidly and climbs the standings to face their main rivals, the dominant Yankees, in the championship games. And during the intense final game, Buttermaker benches his star players to let all the bench riders get playing time, teaching the kids that playing with heart and pride matters more than a strict victory. And the team finishes the season with head held high defiance. Those top everything that happened in Bloomington, Indiana, just a short time ago. We'll break. We'll come back with a little Dis Dat Lat here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
The Common Man.
He signed back for another year.
Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
14 pastime comedies tend to be tap dancing, doing our best. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Until Mark Rosen joins us in studio just before 2 o'clock. Tim Harlow writes for the Fish Wrap Factory West Side. He writes news and politics. Story from yesterday. Headline: Minnesotans are failing their road tests at the highest rate in 6 years. More than 1,700 would-be drivers took a behind-the-wheel exam 4 times last year and did not pass. What does this say about the future of our country, Tennessee? I mean, this isn't like a geometry test. This isn't like an American history test. This isn't like an algebra test. I don't know much about geology. Don't know much about geometry. But I do know that I love you. Story says Alexis Collins, an 18-year-old from the Twin Cities, was elated when she passed her behind-the-wheel test in June on the first try and was able to get her driver's license. Does there ever come a time where, if you fail 4 or 5 times, just say, you're going to have to buy a self-driving car. We're not going to license you to drive in the state. Because, I can see once, you're a little nervous, right? Maybe twice. Once, twice. 3 times a failure. But these days, young adults her age are flunking the road exam at a 6-year high. And nearly 40% of test takers needed 2 or more attempts to pass.
Huh?
Is it that complicated? If you're turning left, hit your directional indicator. That's the scientific term for a blinker or turn signal. Left, flashing yellow light means yield to oncoming traffic. If the light turns red, you stop. If it's green, you go. If it turns yellow, you stomp on it. No, I'm just kidding. Proceed with caution. White double line, do not cross it. If it says HOV lane, don't try to put a mannequin in your passenger seat because that's not going to fly. If you're going down 394 and you want to move into the 94 only lane, go through the Lowry Tunnel, only do the quick slip in if you are a Skip Barber racing school graduate. Otherwise, don't even attempt the maneuver. Those who administer the test say there's a reason for these failures.
I was going to ask.
An increasing number of first-time drivers 18 and older are skipping driver's education and missing out on key training to help them pass the road test and become safe drivers. That would be like if you wanted to be a heart surgeon, you just didn't go to class.
Didn't go to med school.
I'm not going to bother going to med school. Hey, I'm back. Just got back from my suspension. Remember that commercial? That was such a good commercial.
I didn't go to med school, but I played Operation as a kid.
Yeah, exactly. I played Operation as a kid. Chow Yang is an examiner, has been for about 5 years at the Arden Hills testing station. That's where I tested. Were you an Arden Hills kid?
No.
That's where I was, Arden Hills.
I think it was Plymouth.
You drove a Plymouth? I don't care about the car you drove. I was wondering what facility did you... What kind of car did you have when you took your driver's test? Do you remember? I remember I had a 1973 Duster, Dodge Duster, 2-door.
I mean, at the time when I got my license, I was driving like my dad's black Mazda pickup. I would assume that I took the test in that.
Chow Yang says driver education has a significant impact on the failure rates because the quality of instruction and preparation directly affects how well individuals understand traffic law, driving skills, and test requirements. Driver's education is designed to teach and prepare new drivers by providing them with knowledge of what to do and what not to do on the road. If instructions or time dedicated to instructions are limited or unclear, it can contribute to a higher number of failures. Perhaps not surprisingly, the rise in failed driving tests coincides with a 24% increase in crashes resulting in serious injury in the past 5 years. That's according to Minnesota's Advisory Council on Traffic Safety. Going back to Alexis, who passed on her first time, said she didn't take the driver's ed because she didn't want to take a structured class and be forced to put in the prescribed number of practice hours. She wanted to feel out each step and approach it in the way that made sense for her. She practiced driving with her parents on roads near her house and she ventured onto roads with faster speeds and more challenging conditions. After slowly building up her confidence, she tackled highways in the month leading up to her test. She said her dad set up cones in the parking lot where she practiced parallel and 90-degree back-in parking for hours. And then she says Collins rounded out her training by watching YouTube videos.
This explains a lot.
Yeah, I think I'd stick away from the YouTube videos. That'd be like taking driving advice on the 394, 94 quick slipping from Common. You know, you take the driving instructor, he tells you, okay, I want you to merge over into 94 now and get into the tunnel. And the kid just stomps on it, looks for an opening and slips in. And, you know, the driving instructor, you know, he's white knuckling it with his hands on the dashboard. You go, what the hell are you doing? He goes, well, that's what Common Man did. There's a video on YouTube. Watched him do it. Got in, got out, sort of like the Calcutta. And swings down, swings up, lakefront influence, and then out, or in my case, Lake Street influence when you go to the... That's what I did. I've told you, both my boys, I just talked. Baby brother Peter still can't believe it. He had never been behind the wheel before. This is I wonder if I could get arrested for that. Is this illegal? And tell me if you think this is the right way to do it, Tenneby, if you're going to do this with like Leo. Holiday Inn gas station, we gas up the old Chevy Trailblazer inherited from my late father-in-law. The 2004 Chevy Trailblazer. Car's older than Pete. And we're at the Holiday Inn gas station in Invergrove Heights off of Hinton, which is actually Radio, but I think it turns into Hinton, I think, when it goes to in Cottage Grove. I think anybody that knows that area knows what I'm talking about. And we come out of the gas station, out of the filling station, after, check the oil, filled up the tank with gas, and I toss Pete the keys and I go, get in. He says, excuse me? Well, get in, you're driving. Well, but just don't worry about it. Get in. So we get in the car, we just start driving. He's never been behind the wheel before. Let's go out on the 494. What's 494? It's the freeway. We just went out and drove. He was fine. Just what Alexis did. Just drive. Just
experience is the best lesson.
Experience is the best lesson. With Deuce, I've recanted this tale. I've got, those swim floaties?
Yeah.
I put a couple of those over a snow shovel handle and then put them in one of those big 5-gallon buckets behind Red Rock Elementary to teach him how to parallel park, right? And he couldn't figure it out. I said, the heck with this. Let's just go up. Let's go up to the lake shops because they've got parallel parking in front of, instead of a mall, it's like the old main streets where you just have store after store after store after store. They're trying to bring that back, right? So his first parallel parking was with real cars, parking in between real cars. Well, because then you really pay attention. When you know that you can bump into the rake handle, what the hell's the difference, right? Let's go out there and he didn't hit any cars, and he passed his driving test with flying colors.
Well, it's in his genes, though, too.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You're right. And baby brother Peter, I did do the practice with the cones up at Eastridge High School because he just didn't want to go do it with real cars.
I can see that.
But, and the other thing, and I think you and I have discussed this before, Tenneby, have talked with friends of baby brother Peter and Deuce, or talked to them about some of their friends, and some of them wait till they're 18 years old before they get a driver's license. It's just not that big of a deal to kids anymore to have that. For us, and again, our lives were so much more simpler back then. I mean, as a matter of fact, I first learned to drive in a covered wagon. That's how long ago it was. But your car was your freedom, man. Get behind the wheel, keys, see you later. Can I have them, please? And get in the car and go to your buddy's house. Then go to the Friday night football game, go to school. With your own car, come and go as you please, not dependent upon a bus or your buddy picking you up, or your mom and dad dropping you off. The day I turned 16, I was there taking my driver's test. And by the way, I passed first time.
Me too.
How good was it to have that? And I told you what I do now. When I take my driver's license, I'll show you mine during the break. I should take a picture of it and put it on social. I have a scowl on my face. You know, everybody else have a big smile. And I tell and they always ask me at the driver's license, they'll let me look at the picture, goes, do you want to try again? I go, no, I like it like this. You sure? Yeah. And if you ask me why, it's like, well, if the officer pulls me over and he says, can I see your driver's license? And I'm smiling, he's going to say, well, that's not you. Because I'm not smiling when he pulls me over. I've got a disgruntled look on my face. So if I have this scowl on my face, he's going to go, oh, yeah, it's you. Right? It's just, to me, it only makes common sense. Brilliant. So then Deuce and baby brother Peter do the same thing now. They just have this almost a mugshot kind of a look, right? Like you've been arrested on some kind of a trumped up bunco charge. And then Deuce says all of his friends are now starting to do it. It's spreading. I've started a new trend, sort of like 6'7". I started that with 13, 14, and then somebody used 6'7". And then they exchanged them. And one of the people in Deuce's running group, she collects them from all of her friends. Because they all just have this look like. So I don't know.
What do you think is the reason why kids these days don't feel the need to get it right at 16? My speculation would be, you know, you and I, when we were turning 16, for us to socialize with friends, we had to like see them in person, whereas now they have access to all their friends on their phones and on their screens, and that's how they can socialize. They don't need to go to their house to socialize with them. Is that the right? What other reason is it? I don't know. Because it doesn't make sense to me. I would think you'd want that.
Like Deuce, when he comes home at night, he'll start headed to the office, and I know he's not working overtime or working on his master's degree. I go, you're going to Dude Bro, aren't you? And he goes, yeah. Because Dude Bro means, because, you know, when they're playing video games with each other, like you can video game with somebody in another part of the world, right? They got their little headset on with the microphone, and they got and all I hear from the office is, dude, bro, dude, bro, dude, bro, dude. As they're playing these video games, right? And so they don't need to go over to their buddy's house. Like if you and I back in the day were going to play some type of like a board game, well, you have to be there. You can't do it at home. Like now, you know what you can do? You can play Scrabble with people. Like if you like the game Scrabble, I love Scrabble. Tend to be you can be on the game, I can be on the game, Rosen can be on the game, Maury Amsterdam guy. The four of us could be on the game. In one of those games where it might take 3 days to play because you just take your move whenever you get the opportunity. Sure. So like let's say when you're not really busy and you don't have a lot on your mind during the program, you could spell your word and then hit send, and then we all see it, and then maybe I look at it later in the afternoon and I go, I'll get back to that later after dinner, and I go back when we played Monopoly, Stratego, and all those other games, you had to do that in person. Sure. There was no doing those games online, so maybe that is part of it. You just don't have to be. And I think parents are more willing nowadays to drive their kids around. You have friends. Have you ever remember this when Deuce and baby brother Peter were growing up? They had friends groups and moms groups. We didn't have any of that. It was just go out and play and don't come back till it's dark. Okay, sounds great to me. And then we would just go. So maybe that's it. Maybe it is the idea.
Maybe gas is too expensive.
Well, there's that. I mean, that does cost a lot of money, but.
Well, the fact that there are people now taking driving tests without doing driver's ed ahead of time explains to me a lot about what's going on the roads, because there's just some bonkers driving out there where every day you're like, what are you doing?
Well, if you've noticed, when we were in school, took driver's ed in school, they had a movie called Signal 30. Do you remember Signal 30?
No, don't know what you're talking about.
It was to terrify you. It would show like accident photos. like some truck driver who was carrying like a bunch of iron rods, and they just went through the back of his skull, and they show him all splayed against the dashboard to tell you, if you do not pay attention, if you speed, if you do not use U-turn signals, you will die. And it worked. I mean, it was frightening. So those are the things we have to. A text message came in, and it's critiquing you and I. It says, comment at 10. I love listening, guys. I've been an avid listener for 2 decades. However, as of late, I've noticed that both of you have developed a pretty annoying habit. It's a sound or reaction that you both do quite often. As you're talking or discussing a topic, and if there's something personally negative within the discussion of the topic, the sound you both make, which has now become habit, is Sounds silly, but it's the truth. Listen to your previous last 2 recordings. Whenever I hear the it makes me shriek. It's like seeing a car that you've never paid attention to until someone points out that car. Now you see that particular car all the time. I hear the sound all the time. I blame Lil B. She seems to have baked it in. She's rubbed off on the both of you. I know I could easily turn the channel, but I still love the program. Obviously, I can't tell you how to behave and what to do, but could you please? Well, that actually is PA. That's not Lil B.
No.
Lil B does too, but it's our bit. Can you play the piece again? It's the preposterous.
I'm trying to remember what preposterous was. That the
It's with 2-goal lead. 2-goal lead.
Yeah.
It's Gorg. You have to listen very closely to hear it. But listen when Gorg says, PA, it's always nice to get out to a lead, but I think it's better if the Wild keep the game scoreless. And then listen to PA and go,
While I'm trying to find this.
Oh, okay.
Because it's going to take me a second here.
Okay.
Just know if you're hearing Common or me hammering something, beating a dead horse, it's usually making fun of somebody else at the radio station.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it has nothing to do with some habit we've just kind of, it's not like I started smoking cigarettes again and now I can't put them down, right? It's
like when we end every show with me saying, hey, great job.
What he means when he knows that I didn't do a great job, it's been mediocre at best.
All right, here you go. Ready?
All right, listen to the
And we know who Christian Ponder is. He's never going to.
Different, wrong one. Hold on.
That could be a preposterous.
It was a different preposterous statement.
What if we get a 2-0 lead in this game tonight?
Never bad to have the lead, but I almost think you're better off if this game stays scoreless for a long time. I think you're almost better off with the template we saw the last time these teams played, which was early April at the XL Center, and keep it 0-0 as long as possible.
You can say PA's PA's kind of like going, sure. Oh, you really believe that, huh? Okay. So that's where that comes from.
You know it's preposterous when PA is questioning the positivity.
You are correct. So there you go. That's what that's from. So I can now it's habit. I can't stop doing it. I'm never going to be able to stop it.
Okay.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
Yeah, I can't stop it. Okay. There's certain things you can't stop.
It's like for 2 years you kept saying, always. By the way, I've been doing Throwback Thursday on my X account over the last couple Thursdays.
Yep.
I was finding old Common Man bits on videos and just rehashing them.
Right.
And so I threw the 394-94 quick slip in that you did. You can find that on my X account.
Look for that sometime soon. Don't show it to your kids. Tell them not to do it. Because, like I say, unless you are a graduate of the Skip Barber Racing School and have control of your automobile at all times, do not even attempt it. Let's take a break. When we return, the legendary one, Mark Rosen, will join us. It's the Common Man program along with Tennessee and soon to be joined by Mark Rosen right here in the Fan.
Common gets Rosie going.